Welcome back to Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, the recap of Stage 3 of the Vuelta a España. Did it even happen? Maybe. We had a 175-kilometer stage from Grison-Aude to Font-Romeu, 175 Ks, which is broken up into two parts. 130 Ks of flat from the Narbonne region, where there's flamingos, apparently, but maybe not today. The Mistral wind blows heavily there, but they were kind of going in a zigzag, and the wind direction was never perfect. And they were not on extended exposed sections, and even though there was a 30-kilometer-an-hour wind coming in off the Mediterranean, they then turn westwards towards the Pyrenees from Perpignan, or they skirt Perpignan, and then they go up to Font-Romeu on big roads. It's just a big like highway basically, and it's gradual gradients as well. 20 Ks at 4.9% to the Col de Montlouis. There's a Cat 1 and Bonies on top, short descent, and then 10 Ks 5% Cat 2 to 2,000 meters. So it is high altitude to Font-Romeu in France, but it's on the Pyrenean border. It's near the exclave we discussed, exclave enclave, and the border of Puigcerdà is just near there. It's, as the crow flies from me, very close eastward. And we've been having a lot of storms lately, so that could have played a part.
Does the speed of the crow matter?
No.
The distance is still the same, but
yeah,
the speed at which you get there is slower, technically.
Exactly, yep. The distance as the crow flies is not that far. It's along the Pyrenees, and we thought this is a Pogacar win, nailed on win from the peloton if UAE controlled and if the break was weak. I think Pogacar, when people say, do you want to control the stage, do you want to go for the stage? Him and UAE are always like, I get, yeah, if it's there. And then, they're telling the truth. If there's a break of 30 riders pulling absolutely full gas and he's going to have to kill his team to bring it back, maybe they don't. If there's a break of 6 riders who can't climb, Matt Wenzel accepted, maybe they're like, all right, we'll take the free stage win.
And we do get a breakaway with limited climbing potential, but it's a breakaway where if you see this on a flat stage, Roulerta breakaway, you think to yourself, maybe this could actually magically surpass the strength of the peloton and fight for the stage win. On a mountain finish like this, I had zero doubt that this breakaway would not win the stage the second that I saw it up the road. Magnus Cort Nielsen, apparently his last year, actually didn't clog that retirement. But that is sad to see. Danish champion on UnoX Mobility. Ethan Hayter in the green jersey going in the break again to take the green jersey points at the intermediate sprint. And spoilers, he does so. He takes the 20 points there. Mats Wenzel for Equipoc and Pharma talented Luxembourg rider. Olivier Legac, Groupama FDG. Timo Rosen for Picnic PostNL. And Asbjørn Hellemose for Jaco Alula. But Patrick, I oppose the intermediate sprint system of the Vuelta. I prefer it if there's points beyond the 5th rider, because then we see a sprint in the peloton.
I think it's
now
great.
We don't see anything in the peloton.
Yeah, but you can have a sprint in the peloton if there's a break of 3, and then if you come 3rd in the peloton sprint, you get 0 points and you get a proper points delta.
Yeah, but if the break is more than 5 riders, you get 0 fight in the peloton. So it takes away some of the entertainment of today.
Yeah, true, but
I think there's a balance taken between the two of us. Maybe the rule should be if there's more than 5 riders in the breakaway, we do count the points behind.
Nah, I think it rewards guys who got in the break. Hayter takes a 20-point delta on Wout van Aert.
Oh, fair.
Instead, it would have been maybe a 12-point delta. So I think it rewards guys who make the energy investment to get in the break. I quite like it, rather than guys who could just follow in the wheels or sit in the peloton.
I do think this Ethan Hayter attempt for that green jersey is going to be a temporary one. I enjoy very much him going in the break on a daily basis and taking 20 AS points every few days this way. But in the long term, I do expect the other riders to overcome that pretty comfortably by the end, but it can still take a 3rd place in a green jersey ranking, hypothetically. And there's money available, right, at the sprints, I assume?
Yeah, there's money available. There's UCI points for the coming 3rd in the points competition. Yeah, that's why Terzius went for it last year.
So, for that, yes, not per intermediate sprint.
No, not per intermediate sprint. That would be great. That's what they need to introduce at the Giro. But yeah, we had a breakaway and there was wind. There was nervousness because of 2 factors. Yes, it wasn't so open. Yes, the direction wasn't perfect. But the road furniture in the villages they were going through was like medieval. And we're talking like so single file, absolutely single file, even going slowly through these villages. And then they come out of it, and you're almost obliged to put it in the gutter. And that's almost like UAE. I think someone kicked it off before then. There were splits. I don't know who's recording this. I mean, yesterday's finish, I nearly had like to take a Panadol after watching the footage. Like, I don't know if they don't have a camera stabilizer. I don't know if it's Benji's nephew's cousin's handheld camcorder that they're recording it on. The helicopter shot.
No nepotism here.
The helicopter shot is completely washed out. You can't recognize any jersey. And I'm not just being harsh, but like I compared it to the Germany tour, and like in the Germany tour and the heli shot, you can see what's happening. So, yeah,
and that's regardless of the weather conditions later that impacted the footage. That's already the case yesterday.
That's separate. That's in good weather, and I'm talking about Germany Queen stage, which was in horrendous conditions. And the point is, I don't know what was really happening in the crosswinds because you can't tell from the helicopter where anyone is.
Okay.
Goal was on a split though, and no one kept him behind.
Okay.
So write that mark 1 when Felix Gall finishes second in this race. Write that down as opportunity number 1.
Are we going to consider every single descent as an opportunity, or are we picking out specific ones?
I'll pick them out before the stage.
There's a few in there. There's a few in there in a couple stages where he could really be put in trouble. By the way, my cousin's taking strays. That's harsh. Do I have cousins?
Your cousin's nephew.
What is a cousin in Dutch? Because I don't even know. It's very
exactly.
difficult.
So the crosswinds didn't happen, but there was some nervousness. It all comes back. The breakaway gets its margin again. UAE are controlling, and then the rain starts. We see images on Twitter from the finish. I've got hail. I was doing the Deutschland Queen Stage recap video, and the hail outside my house was crazy. It like the whole power shuts off to the house with a lightning strike here, and I was like, it's not looking good for the stage because it goes across that way. And then we see UA controlling, and Pogacar just wanted to win they were going to win Los Angeles style, right? Like,
I think you and I both looked at this breakaway even the second it began and thought to ourselves, okay, the rest of the stage is a lead out for Pogacar, easily, comfortably winning this stage even in a last kilometer sprint. Worst case, could be earlier that he tried something, but I was expecting the gradual ramping and then attack in the last stretch and win. So for me, I was dead set. I was dead set on Pogacar is winning the stage 100% the second that this breakaway formed. Turns out that's wrong, Patrick. Because like you say, the footage cuts out midway the first climb. Pogacar's team UAE was controlling the entire day, by the way. They were
not crazy pace. It was just to set the sprint up.
What's needed. They were doing what's needed. The problem is, obviously, when we don't see the footage, we have to make things up. But I do think we've got a general grasp of what happened when the broadcast went down due to the weather. At first, we just saw rain. Hell became very apparent very quickly. But then we saw, or at least heard, that a ticker was saying that Fortunato had attacked from the peloton. Mats Wenzel from the breakaway was the last rider up ahead. Fortunato had bridged towards the front, so they were both at the front of the race now. And that's when we get a shot from, I think, Pogacar's group, for maybe 5 seconds in shattered pieces, with Pogacar, one UAE rider on the left of him, one behind on the right of him, roughly is my imagination of that scene that I saw splashing on the screen for a second there. And the follow-up was basically that we saw a shot of riders stopping in the middle of the road, going under a roof of a nearby, I assume, hotel, hiding from gigantic hail. That was not on my bingo card.
Sepp Kuss just goes off course. He's like, I know a place. I know all the roads around here. Sepp Kuss has probably gone to a 5-star hotel. He knows down the road. The others, according to Daniel Freeman, this is some sort of military complex. Dropped riders just started sheltering themselves.
Arrested? Question mark?
Immediately, yeah. And I thought Pogacar was self-neutralizing the descent initially. I thought he was doing the Tony Martin Nice wing flap. But then it became clear that they really were like, we have to go inside. The hail was really too much.
when you said they have to go outside, in my headcanon, first of all, there's two things in my headcanon. First thing, when Pogacar decided, because he was leading the peloton neutralization is what it seemed like. A bunch of riders had already stopped by themselves in the process, including, I think, Felix Gall, etc. Pogacar was still at the front of a group of maybe 20, 25 riders roughly, and it looked like they turned left off course to go to a nearby hotel space that Pogacar, not completely sure, but in my headcanon, Patrick, Mats Wenzel and Fortunato are still riding up that mountain.
I think Fortunato and him should be credited with
10 minutes.
half an hour. So
he didn't even get the KOM points, by the way.
No, he must have.
According to the Tissot thing,
no
KOM points were awarded.
I saw him sprinting for it.
Well, it's not on the thingy.
If you don't give Fortunato the KOM points, that's crazy. He literally he has to get the KOM points.
It might change later today, but right now
I saw him
there's no clarity.
For because it's 10
from your window, or
it was on TV. It was a Cat 1. It's 10 points. So Felix Gall let off the hook. I think he wasn't enjoying himself. Who knows? I mean, big asterisk. Ben Tuller, obviously, Pogacar was scared he was going to beat him in the sprint today, so he's called the stage off. The heavens open? Jesus coming for Pog. He's not wanting him to win 10 stages.
I don't even know what to respond to that.
You know what? That's not actually... You know what I actually thought the whole time I was watching it? Because, by the way, jokes aside, the riders had to neutralize. And we all knew the hail was it was a weather forecast. It was going to happen. There were lightning strikes. As I said, there were lightning strikes all throughout the Pyrenees, crazy hail. The riders had to call the race off, by the way.
Is that a blemish? Is that a word? A blemish? Is that a blemish on the carrosserie of the organizer's wagon? That's a crazy expression.
Well, it's like, what more would have had to have happened with the weather for them to neutralize it?
Was there enough time for them to neutralize it from the organizer's car versus the reaction of the riders of getting golf balls at their head?
No, it was hailing really hard on the riders for an extended period of time.
I agree. The fact that the riders themselves had to neutralize it is a question mark, at least.
And I think all I could think about, maybe this makes me a bad person, all I could think about the whole time when I saw the race continuing with the hail was retired Mauro Venier sitting on his couch Monday afternoon, blasted. He's 3/4 of the way through a Tuscan old red wine, and he's watching the riders and he's like, this is what you get. You came to me on the day of an Apennine 200k light rain, 15-degree stage, and you asked me to neutralize. This is what you get. This is karma for asking me to neutralize a Tuesday stage with a bit of rain. It's true. I was thinking, Venny must be watching them riding through this. Are you serious? What's going on? Hopefully all the riders are okay, but the race got cancelled.
Rightfully.
Yeah, well, did Woke win today, but the... No, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The amount of hail is not safe. They had to do a descent. It's 2,000 meters. Not safe.
Are you saying you'd podcast in such condition?
Oh, I am.
Well, you're inside a house.
I'm going to go train after this.
I'm actually going to ride after this as well. Indoor.
Yeah, but it's the weather tomorrow will be good. So yeah, no changes to anything. That's how it is. Felix Gall, he's got 9 lives. 2 are gone today. I'm saying 2 of them are gone today. The stage tomorrow, good weather predicted. It's all in Andorra. They're doing the transfer now, which I don't know how that's going to work. I think it's going to be a nasty transfer for them because they are basically on the top
everywhere.
Well, they're not at the finish and they have to go down and then they have to traverse, and it's not exactly a quick drive to Andorra la Vella. So that's going to be a pain in the ass for them this evening. But
this whole week is long transfers, by the way.
Yeah, because they started quite far away from Spain without a rest day. But Andorra la Vella, they go up from the city, they go all the way up on the big road to France, and they go up to the Port d'Anvillera, turn around at the petrol station, or go down the other side of the petrol station rather, turn right, and then go back down the tunnel, which is normally just for car traffic, go all the way back down, then turn right at Encamp, up Bechalis, very, very steep. And that's the climb they used in the 21 Tour de France. Descend, then go turn right rather than left to the city, turn right, go up Col Ordino, 10K, 7% to 2,000 meters, descend to Canillo, and then go back towards the city, go up Comella, 4Ks, 5.6%, but it's actually in two sets of 1,400 meter, 9% pinches, and then descend 5Ks into the city, where there's a flat last 500 meters. I think it's a breakaway day.
My traditional thought process would be breakaway day. I also think there's a world in which Pogacar attacks on Ordino to try and end the Vuelta early.
Ooh.
Depends on the weather.
I do think the fact that he didn't get the win that they worked for today makes it more likely that they go for the stage tomorrow.
Now we can't pick Pogacar anyway, so does it matter?
True.
Well, the scenario is realistic though. Like, hypothetically, we're gonna see a breakaway battle, a pretty large one on Port da Valira. It's a long climb, 23 kilometers, 5%. You said it. Very gradual climbing doing so. High altitude. It's fucking hard. So I expect massive battle for the break there. I think of riders like maybe even a Sepp Kuss will try to go in the breakaway, etc. Because he loves these fucking roads. Everybody loves these roads in the peloton. Lots of riders, Castrillo, Garcia Pierna. I expect so many riders to try and go in the breakaway tomorrow. But hypothetically, it's only 40 kilometers from the top of Valira to, let's say, Ordino foot to control. It does include a really hard Colada de Bechalis.
It's earlier. If you want to go in your POG, you can just go there. Because it's also not that far from the finish.
Yeah.
It's 45. It looks like, it's too early in the stage. It's 45 Ks from the finish.
Yeah.
He can easily go there and just do a nice little solo. I'm going GC Kuss.
You're going GC Kuss? I actually, if Pog was on the table, I might consider picking Pog, but obviously I can't. So my pick for tomorrow is Carapaz is still in GC, isn't he?
Don't you think it's Carapaz is in a Vuelta? He's much less likely to get freedom to go in the break than a Tour.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at GC right now in between like spot maybe 25, 20, and let's say even P100.
They're all close.
Belocchi's on 235, but
no
pure climbing level, I'm not sure. Lorenzo Fortunato will go in the breakaway for the KOM points, but I'm not sure he can finish it off because there's going to be some climber that can follow him, is my take on him. Patrick Panther has lost a lot of time in the last couple of days. I don't know whether that's on purpose or not. I'm going to pick Patrick Panther just in case. Hopefully it's not because he was sick that he lost time. Hopefully it's being smart. But if he wants to fight for KOM against Fortunato, he needs to be in the break with Fortunato, and he's faster in sprint.
Yep. No one can beat VPP in the sprint, so...
Wow.
They can't.
Someone can.
Someone maybe. But yeah, I think it's going to be a big break battle, and can UAE control that break on Port da Valira? It's pretty gradual, so that I think they can.
I was going to switch to Johannesson, but he's too close in GC, so I won't.
I think so, yeah, and he's also staged. But this is a UNOX special. UNOX love to go, and Torsten Treiner, I know he's on Bahrain last year, but in Andorra last year in the Vuelta, he took the red jersey to Aaron Sal, or no, Pal, can't remember. Pal.
Correct. It's so short a stage that it's so controllable for UAE if they want to do it, you know?
Yeah, I do think Pog might have to go early, but we'll see. We're going to talk about the influencer drama at the Vuelta. It's a big news story in Spain.
I want to bring us back to maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago when we both came to the conclusion that the sport of cycling likes to go viral with things that are embarrassing to the sport. So for the people that have missed out on the last 2 days of drama,
because I don't know anything about this, so explain it to me like I'm 12.
There's a Spanish influencer, a Spanish female influencer. I don't know her name. I keep forgetting. Irola or something. Irola, something like that.
3 million followers on IG. That's more than me.
3 million followers. It's fine. She was at the race during the time trial, and I'm trying not to misquote the thing she said on camera, but the way she was treating riders and staff to me looked disrespectful. Like, we're talking about sexual innuendos in the questions and remarks towards riders and staff members.
She said to Pogacar, "Why do you hyperventilate every time you see me?"
She said similar things to a staff member of UAE that was bringing the Pogacar around. I think it's completely unacceptable in terms of professionality towards the riders. I know that the sport wants to get more with the young people vibes, Patrick. They want to get the Gen Z audience in, Patrick. That's why they bring an outside influencer.
That's why I pay for the rights.
But if the outside influencer had zero respect in the first place, yeah, by the way, that's a solid fact to bring up. You pay for the rights. That's the thing. My issue with this is, I think it's not that complicated to gather the Gen Z audience of the sport and to bring new Gen Z people into the sport. But the sport is so protective of their own brands that they never really want to collaborate with the people that are reaching those audiences. And even the Titama guys are an example of that with ASO back in the day, you know? Exactly.
Like the if you can call them stunts, but the stunts that the Titama guys were pulling in the Tour de France, to me was I think they would have had less rider complaints than there would have been. Then there would have been complaints about this.
For sure. UAE did an actual complaint, if I recall, was in an article. So I don't know. I think there's like this. I think Laura Messeguer was very open about the fact that women in cycling journalism had to fight through a lot of barriers to get to where they were, and this sets them back. I see that view, but I also don't want to give this influencer that much credit, because I think in the grand scheme of things, he embarrassed herself. He embarrassed the sport for a couple days. What?
Why is it her fault?
I think it's not I think it's also her fault.
But that's her brand. This is not like the first time she's done this. This is like her brand and what they brought her in to do.
You said you didn't know her. I didn't know her. If that's her brand, then you shouldn't bring her in.
I just read, that's what I mean. I just read an article, and Laura Mezziger did a Eurosport published an article. Go check Laura Mezziger on Instagram rather. She's spoken about it, but anyway, it's a storm in a teacup. They've restricted the access. But it is interesting that, like, on the one hand, yeah, they do identify that they want to appeal to the younger audience, but then the way they do it is not.
It's completely out of touch with the way they should be doing it. It's also, I think the specific choice of influencer matters a lot here as well. If you work with an average Rob or something in cycling, like he's done videos with Mathieu van der Poel, Remco Evenepoel, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Those videos go viral every time he does it and bring a new audience to the sport. That's exactly what you're looking for. If you then opt for this person, don't know much of what she does outside of this, but the moments that I saw on the live stream of her doing this at La Vuelta, she came across really disrespectful. That is on part of the organizers and on her individually, in my opinion. Both are to blame.
Yeah. So anyway,
she came across as a shit person, regardless of whether the Vuelta picked her or not.
It was very awkward. And I was like, who is this content for? But I watch a lot of things and I wonder who is this content for? And they have bigger followings than us.
Who is this content for, Patrick?
But that's what I mean. These people, they have bigger followings than us, so maybe we should look in the mirror.
Well, if that is the way to get the audience, I don't want to be that person.
I just got to do better Mara Venue impersonations, and then I can get to 3 million Instagram.
What's the Gen Z percentage on the podcast?
What's Gen
29 or under?
Is Gen Z 29 and under?
Yeah, it's 23 under 29 roughly or something.
Is it?
But let's say 29 or younger is what they're after. I think it's more than 50%.
Why are they going that young? Why don't you actually... This is a thing, I know, not to beat the drum too much, but why don't we serve the existing cycling fan of any age, but there's many of them, also 30 to 50 to 60 to 70, so they can watch the sport? Why don't we start with being able to watch the live event?
Why don't
That's where race
organizers why don't race organizers use footage from previous Tour de France in a much better way? I want to see a reel on my fucking Instagram about Contador Chaingate in 2026.
I don't know.
I want to see a reel about the 2010 cobble stage where Hushoft, I think, ends up winning the stage. I'm pretty sure. I want to see that shit.
If you had Team Sky built all this big Anglophone audience or British audience, and now they can't watch the Tour de France for free anymore.
Races should be paying you to make that content. That's my take.
I'm too tired, and I didn't watch cycling then.
Wow, it's a good option for a rewatch.
I gotta watch the Mets get walked off by the White Sox twice in 3 nights. Useless. Okay, yep, that was today. That's all the drama of the Vuelta so far. So we'll see. Hail happened today. I think there was no other option but to cancel it. Bit of a shame, but these things happen in the high mountains. And we'll see you at the Andorra stage tomorrow. Until then, ciao, ciao.